If you're a social media content creator, whether you're using Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, or any of the others, you already know how difficult it can be to consistently create content that stands out from the pack. My name is Sean, and I've been a freelance photojournalist for more than 25 years. For the last 10, working on assignment with folks like Getty Images, the New York Times, the Associated Press, the Washington Post, and many others. In this video, I've got 4 tips about photography and content creation that'll help you no matter what platform you're on. These tips come from my application of photojournalism, but they're universal. As trends come and go, I think we find that the basic principles of visual storytelling stay the same. One of the most iconic photojournalists of the 20th century, Robert Capa, is famously quoted, "If your pictures aren't good enough, you're not close enough." And while this isn't always the case, it's a pretty good rule of thumb. When we get close, intimacy follows. That said, Robert Capa was killed when he got too close to a landmine. We are in the age of the photo dump, but we can learn to edit tightly. And when I say edit, I'm not talking about Photoshop or post-processing. I'm talking about the process where we select the photos that we want to publish. Learn about the fundamentals that make a great photograph and apply this to your own. The power of still photography rests in its ability to tell a story with a single frame. Knowing this, use photography with intention. If you'd like to know more about what makes a great photograph, I've got a video about that here. At smaller media outlets, I see editors using photography as a way to attract viewers hoping to see themselves in a post or on a website. I feel this dilutes storytelling and narrows the possible audience greatly. For content creators, this means being selective with what you share. Don't be afraid to cut content that doesn't serve your story, even if you're personally attached to it. Your audience will thank you for respecting their time by giving you more of it. I'm not suggesting anyone posts with less regularity. I'm suggesting folks publish with more intention. However, if you find yourself working on a campaign more aimed at small community building, you can keep those darlings. When using multiple photos to tell a story, I vary wide, medium, and tight shots just like a filmmaker does. I also think about scene setting shots and how varying focal lengths can help viewer retention. For those not familiar, focal length is the length of the lens and independent of the type of shot we make. We can make wide shots with a telephoto lens and tight shots with a wide lens. Whether you're creating content for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, or Blue Sky, varying your types of shots and focal lengths creates visual interest and helps tell a more complete story. I love using layers to help tell stories. My photographs typically involved a subject and a background and sometimes a foreground. Occasionally, I use all 3. One of the most powerful storytelling techniques with photography uses layers to signal context. These layers can be subtle messages or obvious ones. Political campaigns orchestrate this type of thing all the time. As a photojournalist, I'm not allowed to create or manipulate backgrounds or foregrounds. But as a content creator, we have this power. Think about the ways that we can use elements in the background or foregrounds to tell our stories. If you found this information helpful, I've got more tips from the perspective of a photojournalist here.